Hello and welcome aboard WhalePod to another Genshin Impact video. I am your host Whale, and it has been a while since we have recorded Genshin Impact for the channel. The last time we did was the Hidden Strife event in version 2.8. But version 2.8 is in the taillights, version 3.0 is here, and with it, Sumeru and Dendro have arrived at last. Today we are going to be whaling, as is the partial namesake of this channel. I will once again stress that this channel's name comes from Xenoblade Chronicles X, where there is a ship named the White Whale. Ironically, Xenoblade Chronicles, the series, also did give me my first taste of a very mild gacha game with their gacha expansion, or gacha entry in the series with Xenoblade Chronicles 2. But we are here playing Genshin Impact, and before we get into the wishing for Tighnari and Collei, I just have a few things to go over in a sort of a Genshin Impact myth-busting segment, sort of, so to speak, mostly revolving around character name pronunciations, and partially involving a certain facet of a certain character we all know and love. So now let's temporarily leave this absolutely gorgeous Dendro green wishing screen to go to the character information. Sorry, Jean, you're amazing, and I just read the manga tonight before the patch uploaded. You know, waiting for that 5 hours to pass by, and you are even more gorgeous in the manga than actually in-game. But you are not part of this little myth-busting session. First things first, our favorite, least favorite Snezhnayan man, Tartaglia. Yes, I said Tartaglia, not Tartaglia, like his VA, Griffin Burns, says. That is because this is an Italian name, and Italian has a very funny relationship with the letters G and Z, among others. That G does not make the usual sound we would expect it to make in English in Italian, so it is Tartaglia. Normally, I do side with the voice actors on how their character's name is pronounced, but in this case, I've always heard it as Tartaglia before I ever heard Griffin himself say it as Tartaglia. So on this one, I'm going to side with Griffin. Also, on the TIGHNARI versus TIGHNARI versus actual Arabic pronunciation that my dumb American brain that's been speaking English its whole life can't roll the right letters the right way to properly pronounce, I'm going to go with Tighnari as it is closer to the correct pronunciation than TIGHNARI. I believe his voice actor will, however, say it TIGHNARI. Now, one time where I do side with the voice actor is on the Yoimiya versus Yoimiya debate. I'm going to have to side with Jenny Yokobori here, who indeed says it.
Welcome to Naganohara. My name's Yoimiya.
She says it Yoimiya. Not Yoimiya, not Yoimiya, Yoimiya. So that is how I will pronounce it, and that is how it is meant to be pronounced. Lastly, our second new Dendro character, Collei, is oftentimes mispronounced Collei, mostly by one of my favorite Genshin Impact content creators, Murder of Birds. However, the name, when looking up the origins, I kept on getting either German or French. I'm going with French because, well, Fontaine is based off of France, and even though Collei has some, well, is supposedly from Sumeru, all her backstory in the manga hints to her being from Sumeru, I suspect she does with Sumeru's proximity to Fontaine, maybe have a parent or a grandparent from Fontaine, and that's how she got her name. But seeing as I'm assuming it is French, and L-E-I in France, in Inima French is pronounced lay, I'm going with Collei. Now, the last unrelated to names bit of myth-busting here is to do with everyone's favorite Kokogoat, Ganyu. Namely, the story of her dummy thickness. Here in character story number 5, it references that during the Archon War, she once choked a giant monster to death with ease after getting lodged in its throat. When it tried to eat her, said monster having fatally underestimated quite how wide her waistline was. I'm sorry, everybody, but this passage here is not nearly as hot as you think it is. Well, it might be, but personally, knowing the full context, I don't find it that hot. Ganyu, this entire passage, is talking about how Ganyu has constantly struggled with her weight and physique. So, by merit of that, we can assume that Ganyu managed to get herself lodged in this monster's trachea, not with this perfect hourglass figure we see here, but in a point in time where she had been not watching her weight as diligently and was more on the plus side size of things. So no, this physique we see right here is not the monster choker. It was when Ganyu was a bit more in line with Cloud Retainer's depiction of oftentimes tripping while climbing the mountains and rolling all the way to the bottom. As the section of her character story number 5 that leads right into the story about the monster getting her lodged in his trachea is talking about how Ganyu is constantly struggling with her weight and must diligently watch her diet, which is quite difficult to do in a city with as robust a gastronomical scene as Liyue Harbor. Now, with that, let's get into the content. We have Jean in the wishing chair. We have not yet popped her holy water. So before we do that, we do have a couple character trials to still do. I have done the character trials for the not new characters already off camera. Now, we're going to start with Collei and finish off with TIGHNARI, or TIGHNARI. I did it myself. I've heard him called TIGHNARI by Collei's voice actress in promotional material. I will do my best to use the closer to proper pronunciation, TIGHNARI. Now, Collei, let's get into it. Collei is the 4-star. We're starting small, working big. They are both Dendro Bow characters. Collei's elemental skill throws out a floral ring that will deal damage to opponents as it flies outward and back. Her elemental burst will summon a Quayline Anbar doll to go jumping around a certain area, dealing continuous damage to opponents within that area. Additional elemental orbs will drop during the trial event challenge to facilitate the testing of the trial character's elemental burst. Okay, I've never actually read any of these before, so that last line there about additional elemental orbs really solves a few questions. Well, not a few questions. I've always highly suspected they boosted energy recharge rates in these trials, and this just confirms it. Collei was revealed to, prior to the release of version 3.0, have some sort of stuffy doll similar to Amber's Baron Bunny. We now know that from its Quayline name, it appears to be some sort of feline or cat, which is a bit fitting for Collei, because there is one, I guess, scene, frame, page in the manga where Collei is startled, and you can briefly see green cat ears popping out of her hair, and a long, fluffy green cat tail protruding from her rear end. Maybe she has some sort of faunus elements to her, like TIGHNARI does with his more fox-like elements, or characters like Sucrose, who has dog ears, Goro, who has dog ears, Diona, who is confirmed to be part cat's line or has feline blood in her, Yaimiko, who is literally a kitsune masquerading as a human, and oh yeah, Ganyu with her Qilin horns, Yanfei with her deer horns, and a few others. Now let's see how Collei plays. Headshot. We have our first example of a Dendro-based reaction as well. Let's get Guoba down here. Quicken, that's the follow-up reaction. No, Quicken is the base reaction, spreads the follow-up. Quicken. Quicken. I don't know anything about how these reactions actually work in-game. I have actually seen leaks, but other than seeing roughly what they do, I know nothing. Okay, Barbara, patch us up after that embarrassing hit.
You're in for a little shock.
We're now getting some aggravate triggers going. Headshot. They've given her stringless. Makes sense. Dendro is seen to be a reactor element. A lot of elemental reactions.
Things up a little.
You're toast!
And to go along with that,
Just like we rehearsed.
it would appear that elemental mastery from stringless is good on Dendro characters like Collei. Nice little burning trigger there. Alright, Barbara, patch us up. Throw down a Guoba. And that is a swift conclusion to a slow starting trial. Obviously, Collei is not going to be as flashy or as damaging as TIGHNARI. Rude, the trial kicked us out of the wishing chair. But, speaking of TIGHNARI, I said TIGHNARI again, I need to work on that. We will try out TIGHNARI now. He is being touted in the community since his official reveal in the live stream as the single target Ganyu of sorts. Double even having a... That's embarrassing. I strafed my way off the edge of the trial. Let's throw up Noelle's shield so we have to worry less about that. Completely missed that hit there. Oh yeah, his field throws up a quick cast on his charge shot. Let's blow this Minotaur off the map with his burst. Take him down.
Come a little closer.
Practice on for some.
Let's nip that in the butt. Keep up.
Apparently we're sniffing things in the butt already. It is easier to dodge those Ruin Guard blasts from further away. Let's sniff him in the butt again.
One with the forest.
Throw down our instant charge again. Okay, now that we've seen this weak A TIGHNARI in action, let's pull for one of our own. After getting our a bit of rewards. The 3 and 3 is enough to get him up to 20 of 40 automatically. That is everything. Collei also has new materials as well. But now, let's assume the wishing chair. We have already charted our course for Hunter's Path. We are going to go for 1 copy of Hunter's Path after getting our C0 TIGHNARI. Now, let's get into the main event. 1440 primos, or primos, let's go! We will be watching 4-star pulls until we get our first Collei. Diona. Early, we could get a double, Am I hearing a double here, guys? We are getting a double, and it is Collei! Home already, we will now be skipping 4 stars. I don't know if we'll skip yet. We might skip after C1 Collei, because that felt too easy. Additional 10 intertwined fate, 1600 Primogems. We had 1 stored because I do buy the premium battle pass, and I buy the premium battle pass to get the free 10,000 BP experience, which with the decrease from 1,000 per level to 900 per level, these next 3 patches, as these next 3 are going to be 5 weeks instead of 6 weeks, it got me to 11, which got me a little bit more than one of the wishes which come at every 10 levels. Next temple, let's go! We are not gonna skip, We only would need at max C5 Collei, as we do get a free Collei from the brand new event that is already available. I don't know if the free Collei is available, probably not, but the event is ready to go. Official. That's like C200 for me. Not really, but I've gotten a lot of officials. Oh, this will be 30 pity. So let's check how many we have since our previous 5-star to get our true pity amount. Just a weapon. Okay, history. This will not have our previous 30 as it takes an hour to update wish history. We are at a cool 34 pity since our C2 Yoimiya came home. $44 pity since our C2 Yoimiya came home now. Here is our C1 Collei. We will now be skipping 4 stars. No matter how cool Tighnari's constellations are, we will not be going for any of them on this banner, as he is going to be migrating to the standard banner at the end of this patch. From version 3.1 onward, you will be able to lose 50-50 to Tighnari. So we'll get 1 copy of him here just to have him, and then not worry about it. Because we'll get him C6 eventually. I mean, it's just 1 more character they can give me instead of more genes. Let's do this before we dip into our pre-bought Genesis crystals. A Diano there, if you're in the know. That is nearly $400 worth of Primo Gems. Not exactly $400 because I needed just a little bit more Genesis crystals than what I had on hand to buy out the various special bundles the shop had at the start of this patch. This should be our 6th 10 pull, 64 pity. Just a rust, how disappointing. And now, but we will not let that get us down and press onward. 4-star. Diano. And somewhere between 74 and 84 is, well, a Diano. And an early Diano, too. There's our double, unfortunately. And he comes home, winning the 50-50. As you can see, we did not have guarantee. Our last one was a limited banner unit in Yoimiya. So, Tighnari is in the bag. C1 Collei is in the bag. Now we get to continue on to the bow. Pain-free. Maybe I would have liked more Collei, but needless to say, hey, Favonius Lance, a very good 4-star. At least it's not a bell. And I cursed myself, didn't I? Double bells. The worst weapon in the game. There's rumors that Dory, who's coming out in the 2 banners on the last half of this patch, is going to have some HP scaling at high constellations, so maybe if you've got a Refinement 5 bell lying around like I do, you can finally put it to somewhat decent of work on a high constellation Dory. But once again, even though a free-to-play can get high constellation 4 stars easier than high constellation 5 stars, it's going to take you a while. Besides, Dory's not going to be promoted on every banner. She can show up on any banner, but if you're only going on banners where Dory's promoted, it's still going to be a while because it might be 2, 3, 4, even 5 or 6 banners before Dory's promoted again. We have 30 pity and another bell. That's good experience for my soon-to-owned Hunter's Path. Let's also check our history here, see what we're working with. So, okay, each page is now 5 pulls, good to know. This is a new... we are at 36 pity. We are 6 pity off of our Summit Shaper, which we were getting to collect. As I like to do that. I am a collector of all things collectible. Skip. Toma. A good user for the Favonius Lance. Can't use the bell, unfortunately. If he could, it would actually be kind of good because he's HP scaling. Favonius Sword, better than the bell, and not the best Favonius weapon, as we've already got the best Favonius weapon in the Lance. Barbara, the weapon banner's giving me all these characters. Not complaining. It says more Star Glitter to either use on wishes or save for the amber in the shop. Come on, bow, 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 bow. Yes! Oh, it feels so good to get on the first one on the weapon banner. Particularly after having to go to the epitomized path, losing twice, then getting the stupid Summit Shaper for something I was just getting to log in the collection. Oh, that feels so good. And we got a stringless. That's decent for Collei. I use it currently on Amber and Fischl. Amber's is not nearly as leveled up as Fischl's is. I could start building a third one. Or I could give Amber something else and give Collei Amber's stringless. Amber might kind of like the new fishing-related bow. But let's check this puppy out. Base attack 44. That is the lowest possible base attack a 5-star weapon can have. But we all know what that means. When you have the lowest possible base attack, you have the highest possible substat rolls. This will give us a whopping 44.1% crit rate at level 90. On its own, it gets a character with a base crit, nothing from artifacts, nothing from anything else. It gets that character to nearly a coin flip on getting crits. 0.9% off from a true coin flip on landing a crit. It's that good. It lets you ignore crit rate on any other piece and just stack as much crit damage as you want. And I have not even read its special ability. At the end of the Beast Paths, gain 12% all elemental damage bonus. Obtain the Tireless Hunt effect after hitting an opponent with a charged attack. This effect increases charge attack damage by 160% of elemental mastery. This effect will be removed after 12 charged attacks or 10 seconds. Only one instance of Tireless Hunt can be gained every 12 seconds. That's wordy, but it essentially says just flat out 12% bonus to elemental damage, no physical bonus there. And after hitting an opponent with a charge attack, it increases charge attack damage by a decent amount, because as a Dendro character, I assume Tighnari wants elemental mastery out the nose. And if, well, Tighnari's elemental skill puts down a field that lets him charge his charge attacks faster, so it might actually be possible to get 12 charge attacks in 10 seconds with this boy. I can't wait to build him. I need to get to his boss and start farming his stuff. I have plenty of the emerald gemstones that he needs because I've ascended every currently announced or released Geo character. Well, released or even announced. There's no upcoming Geo characters that have currently been revealed for Sumeru. At 80 of 90 maximum ascension phase, meaning any of the topaz chunks needed for ascending Geo characters are free game to convert over to other elements as we need them. So we already have 35 of the 2 stars, 16 3 stars, 5 4 stars, and 1 5-star for the Dendro elemental gems. And now with that, we still have 15,000 Prima gems. We could take those on a gift certificate, but I still want Collei constellations, hopefully 4 more of them. I also have Constellation 5 Zhongli. I know Constellation 6 Zhongli is technically detrimental with Hu Tao because Zhongli is, well, his 6th constellation allows him to act as a light healer, and Hu Tao functions best when below half HP. But I don't use Hu Tao all that much, and it's not that big of a detriment. I'm going for Constellation 6 Zhongli. Just need one Zhongli. And we have Constellation 2 Collei. Cool. If we get Zhongli before we run out of resources and don't have a C5 Collei, we will go back to the Tighnari banner on the off chance we get another one. Rosaria, off-banner pull, amazing character, both gameplay-wise and design-wise. Diona and Fischl. Here is a 5-star! Is it Zhongli? It is! Yeah! That's two 50/50s and a 37.5. Let's see, how much percentage is that? 62.51, because you have to win a 75-25 and then a 50/50 to get the weapon you want. If you lose the 75-25, you then will automatically win the next 75-25, but then it's still a 50/50 to determine which of the two promoted weapons you actually get as your guarantee. Fav Lance, good on free-to-play Zhongli's, but we are a whale, so we use Staff of Homa. And there is our maxed out Zhongli. We still have Prima Gems to burn. Let's see if we can't get a head start on Tighnari. Diano. Fischl. Fischl and Diano. Stringless. Oh, we need more stuff. In fact, we need one more. So let's get one more. And spend one more. Fischl. And now, Fischl refunded that wish we spent to get this. We will get 20 and do 2 more temples. Looking for Collei. There's a Collei! That's C3! Five-star! Five-star! Jean or Tighnari? Jean or Tighnari? Quit giving me heart attacks, Fischl! Chi-Chi! Really? That's C10 Chi-Chi. I've gotten 4 Chi-Chis since maxing her out. But we got 10 more. We got 10 more. C4 Collei? C4 Collei? Nope, double Diano. And that is where we are going to end this wishing session. Oh, that was my best wishing session ever, by far. The Chi-Chi at the end wasn't even as disappointing as it could have been, because I already had everything I needed and was just going for gravy. But we do have Battle Pass rewards to claim. Make 50 wishes. With the 900 instead of 1,000 needed, that actually, with what I had previously, got us up 2 levels of the Battle Pass. Some more Adventurers experience. And some more Heroes Wit. You get... I've already gotten all this from just doing a few weeklies and buying the $20 version. I do not recommend buying it unless you really want to collect all the name card styles or are simply looking for the 5 extra fragile resin. But if you're looking for the fragile resin, it's probably not the best value, as you still get those. The Regular Gnostic Hymn, the $5 version, still gives you the 5 extra resin at 5, 10, 15, no, 5, 15, 25, 35, and 45 in the Battle Pass. We are going to get Guide to Transients because we're still working on Hazo, and these can be converted up to the 4-star version. And now, first of all, we have not seen any of these in a while. Bloom and Catalyze. Quickened. The aggravate and spread reactions will occur, causing them to take additional damage. I assume from how they're described that these are amplifying reactions like Vaporize and Melt, as opposed to transformative like literally every other reaction. Except for Crystallize, which is just weird and bad. And now Bloom, Hydro and Dendro. The Bloom reaction will be triggered, creating Dendro cores. I do believe the damage from Dendro cores will do self-damage, so bring a healer. Or bring a shielder. It's probably easier and stronger. Elemental reaction Bloom. Only a certain number of Dendro cores can exist at the same time. If new ones are created once this limit is reached, or if the duration of the existing Dendro cores ends, the pre-existing Dendro cores will explode, dealing AoE Dendro damage. When Dendro cores come into contact with Pyro, they will trigger Burgeon, causing even greater AoE Dendro damage. When Dendro cores come into contact with Electro, they will trigger Hyper Bloom and transform into homing, sprawling shots. That's our first example of a double elemental reactions, where you can react with 2 elements and then apply a 3rd element to improve the reaction. We got 2 Primogems refunded from that. And, if I'm not mistaken, we have some constellations to apply. Zhongli? Oh, welcome to healer status, buddy. I know some people will kick and scream that I'm ruining my count by doing this, but it's literally only Hu Tao this inconveniences, so yeah, don't care. Now, new, Collei and Tignari. Collei will need artifacts, so we will do that later. Constellation, though, we did get 3. So we have a Deepwood Patrol. When in the party and not on the field, Collei's energy recharge is increased by 20%. The passive talent Floral Sidewinder is changed to this. The Floral Ring will grant the character the Sprout effect from Floral Sidewinder upon return, dealing 40% of Collei's attack as Dendro damage, blah, 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 blah. From the moment of using Floral Brush to the moment when this instance of Sprout effect ends, triggers Burning, Quicken, Aggravate, Spread, Bloom, Hyper Bloom, or Burgeon reaction. Sprout effect will be extended by 3 seconds. Sprout effect can only be extended this way once. If another Sprout effect is triggered during the initial duration, the initial effect will be removed. Damage dealt by Sprout is considered elemental skill damage, blah, 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 blah. Requires you to have unlocked the Floral Sidewinder passive talent. I have not. That's obviously an Ascension talent. Scent of Summer, Floral Brush by level 3. That's the skill that this buffs. Gift of the Woods is using Trump Card Kitty will increase all nearby characters' elemental mastery by 60 for 12 seconds, not including Collei herself. All Embers increases the level up of Trump Card Kitty by 3, maximum upgrade level is 15. And a Forest of Falling Arrows, when the Floral Ring hits, it will create a miniature Quailine Anbar that will deal 200% of Collei's attack as Dendro damage. Each Floral Brush can only create 1 such miniature Quailine Anbar. So, Forest of Falling Arrows will get as part of the new event. I forget what it's called, even though I literally just read it off earlier. Ah, yes, the Graven Innocence event. I actually don't think I read it off earlier. So yeah, the name of it is Graven Innocence. You have to complete the prerequisite quest of Forest of Change to have the full event experience. We'll probably do that sometime later. 34 days, 8 hours. So we can assume this lasts either nearly the whole patch or the whole patch. Actually, yeah, the whole patch, because this patch is only going to be 35 days instead of 42. So once again, that event is around the whole patch. No need to rush to get to it. Well, maybe you need to rush if you're brand new to the game and have done hardly nothing. But from here, we are going to do one more thing before we end this Genshin Impact video. Yes, we are going... That's the artifact domain right there by the border. They know people are rushing to get there, huh? They even added a new teleport waypoint in the chasm from this update. We have 4 statues of the 7 to unlock, it looks like. Yes, 1, 2... No, 5 statues of the 7. Did they add the desert already as well? Or... I thought the desert was gonna be... I thought it was gonna be obvious that the desert was going to be version 3.1. Let's, okay, yes, this is the domain we're going for, so we're going to teleport somewhere close to this statue of the 7, which is probably Lumberpick Valley. It seems like they terraformed a little bit more of this area right around the chasm as well to accommodate into Sumeru. They obviously have, because here's a Sealy we haven't seen before. But we are going to... Actually, no, we're going to follow. I don't want to... We're still seeing Leah local specialties, so we are not in Sumeru yet. Obviously, this Sealy is not here from the chasm, as it's literally 2 feet from a teleport waypoint.
Right here.
Alright, Yaimiko. Powder that Hilly Churl in 1 hit, a 24,000k crit. With a Viridescent Venerer Shred, my Yaimiko's turrets can crit for around 32,000 at Constellation 6 with a Refinement 5 Kagura's Verity like she has. And let's see.
Well,
Geosigils still. We are indeed still in Leah. But we have new chests here. We're gonna get the recon forces out and ready.
take it easy.
Oh, is this one of the new boys? Yes, this is one of the new chonkers.
Quietly now.
Right here. Emerge. Right now.
Haha, not so tough, are ya? Raw meat and hilly churl parts. So it appears that is a hilly churlized, or hilly churl tamed version of one of these Sumeru bear-looking animals. We're not even in Sumeru yet, or I'm not sure if it's Sumeru or Sumeru. Everyone I see says Sumeru.
Right here.
So that's what I'm gonna go with until learning otherwise, if otherwise. Once again, he just poofs into meat like any other animal instead of dissolving like enemies do, or portaling out, or, well, smoke bombing out like treasure hoarders do. I think the Abyss Heralds and Lectors also just, like, portal out or something, but I could be wrong. They could collapse into and just disintegrate like other monsters do.
One way to draw your target out of hiding.
Yeah, this is a part of Leah right on the border with Sumeru that has always been just off the map. So it's fun to finally be able to go into it. Those birds fled before they could even see me. They know what I do to their friends over on the bridge in Mondstadt. I, of course, am referencing to when I do a murder of birds to Timmy's pigeons.
Right here.
Crush!
We are nearing the edge of what we have visible on the map. Woo!
Emerge.
Beg for mercy.
Stay still, big boy. Was there... Ah, there was a chest these guys were protecting with their lives. Unsuccessfully, I might add. More geosigils, definitely still in Aaliyah. Ooh, they also increased vertical pull ranges on stuff like this. Can Jean pull these guys down now? Well, obviously not from right here. We'll give it one more try and then abandon these as lost. Apparently Jean's vertical pull range was never that good to begin with, so even with the increased vertical pull range. We still cannot get them. Sad day, sad day. This is not an exploration video. One of those will come next. I'm just going to this statue of the 7 because it is the closest statue of the 7 to the talent level up domain, which is the most important in my opinion. What are we doing running around as Jean when we can run around stamina free? Hey, these guys!
Quietly now.
Right here. Emerge.
Come on, Dendro Slime. Hey, we are officially in Sumeru! And what is that I spy? Is that our first Dendroculus? We'll get you later, birdies. What does this do? If applied hydro to it. Nothing. Must this be a plant? An obvious plant at that. We'll get this Dendroculus a little later. These guys are indeed enemies, but instead of dropping mats, they drop meat. Meat before mats, you say?
Emerge.
Oh, wait, isn't it supposed to be milk before meat, not meat before mats? 3 raw meat. These are definitely bigger than your average boar. Oh. I think I know where we are. Hold on, I'm just gonna... roughly right here, I'm gonna throw down a marker to remind me of that Dendroculus. Not spot on it, but close enough. Now I'm just gonna let you guys listen to the music while we approach our first Dendro statue of the 7. And oh boy, there's already a settlement for us to explore just on the other side of the hill from it. All right. 4-leaf sigil. This crest, which looks like a 4-pelleted flower, will sometimes appear in Sumeru. When those who can manipulate the elements are facing one such crest, they can use it to travel swiftly. Sometimes you will find clusters of cultivation that can scatter these 4-leaf sigils around. Use their ability to make your adventures easier. Hilly Churl, go away. I don't need you right now. Oh, this isn't where I thought we were going, but dang. This is gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, also, for tracking down Sumeru local specialties, even though that was not a local specialty, Tighnari is our man with the goods for tracking them down. He will mark Sumeran local specialties on your map. It is good to have that early. We did not get that for Inazuma until version 2.3 with Goro. Now we will activate our first Dendro statue of the 7 and call this video to a close. The world opens itself before those with noble hearts. The Palace of Alcazazare. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Probably just majorly butchered it. Ah. Electro Regisvine is somewhere underneath the ground around here. I imagine this waypoint, since we did not see it, is probably underground as well. There's the domain we want to get, so we will make a sort of beeline to it in the next episode. There is a just trounce domain for a little bit of rewards. And wait, no, that is the domain of mastery. That does not have the trounce domain icon at all. Yeah. If Sumeru has more than just the 5 statues of the 7 already here. It's going to be huge. Teleport waypoint unlocked. What were those? Mithra, did you see them? Yes, my name is Mithra. That is another Xenoblade Chronicles reference, as I feel like Lumine combines some elements from Pyra and Mithra's designs from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and of course Super Smash Bros., even though she doesn't have any of the elements of their Smash outfits. I saw them. Little round plant-like things, right? Gone just like that. We should ask around when we get a chance. And with that, that is going to be the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. We had just about the luckiest summon session we've ever had. We got a cheat sheet at the end because we were getting a little greedy. But with that, I thank you all once again for watching. I have been your Captain Whale. If you liked this video, make sure to obliterate that like button so hard it never recovers from it, and do consider subbing to the channel. It costs you nothing and helps me out immensely. If you do sub to the channel, make sure to ring that notification bell to stay up to date with all my latest uploads. As always, comments are welcome down below, and without further ado, I hope you all are having fantastic days, Whale Pod. But until next time, goodbye.